Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the channel. Week 6 college football picks coming at you right here, right now. I could not be happier to be here with you guys today to share my college football picks for Week 6. If you missed last week's show, you obviously missed the big announcement where Ev announced that he was stepping down from the college football picks landscape and was giving the reins over to me. And as of today and through the rest of this college football season, I will be running the college football picks show from this point on. And I want to thank Ev for that opportunity to take over the show. I know this was kind of his baby, and I know he had a lot of success here, and he has a really great following. And so I'm very appreciative of the fact that he is giving that responsibility onto me. Some of you may know me. I've been with Guy Boston Sports for about 2 years now as a writer/content creator. In the past 6 months, I've kind of leaned more into the YouTube content creation side of things. I obviously do H2H, our NFL Pick'em show with Ev that come out on Thursdays. I also do Play Action Takes, another NFL Pick'em show that comes out on Wednesdays. I have a couple different shows here and there, and I've been around for a little while. So for those who know me, obviously, I'm happy to keep creating content for you guys. I'm happy to keep connecting with this community that I have grown to know. And to those who don't know me, to those who are not familiar with me, welcome. Welcome to me. I hope that you will stick around. I know Ev, a lot of people watch the show for Ev, but I promise you, I think there's still a lot of value here with me. And I don't want to take any shots at Ev. He's a great guy. Gave me this opportunity. He's a good. I call him a good friend of mine now. I may be a better sports bettor than he is. I'm not going to lie. If you watch H2H, I am kicking his ass on that show. And for college football picks, I do think I have quite a bit of experience. You're going to see my record right here below: 225, 225, and 6 lifetime. And you can follow me on Action Network. I have an account on there where I publicly track all my picks. So it's no bullshit here. It's all there. It's all public. 225, 225, and 6. Not half bad. I have quite a bit of experience betting college football. I've had some big winners, some big losers, but overall, I've been pretty consistently solid. So I'm very happy to continue that here and give you guys some hopeful winners here. But yeah, sound off in the comments. Let me know how I'm doing. I love feedback, both positive and sometimes negative. But I want this to work, and I want to stick around with you guys for a while. I think you guys are still going to enjoy this college football pick show, even though Ev obviously is no longer running it. I think we're going to have a good time together, guys. I really do. And guys, one last thing before we get going here. Make sure to check the link in the description below. I will have the link to the Fade Me store, which of course is the brand that Ev has built. It's a really great brand, guys. I'm obviously rocking the Fade Me shirt right now. I just got a bunch of new Fade Me merch from Ev. Very appreciative of that. You can go down there in the link in the description below. There's a ton of items: hats, sweatshirts, hoodies. Even, I know summer's over, but they do have tank tops. And more merch is being released constantly. All new concepts, new ideas. Go check it out. If you are a sports bettor, I promise you will not be disappointed with these shirts. They're a great gift. They are a great thing to wear. But yeah, guys, seriously, go get your Fade Me merch today. Like I said, link in the description below. You want to join the Fade Me community. Now's your chance. Get your stuff and support the brand. But all right, guys, let's not waste any more time here. Let's get into it with the Week 6 college football slate. I got a few picks to share with you guys today, and starting off with what is probably the game of the weekend. Number 12 ranked Oklahoma at number 3 ranked Texas. We got the Red River rivalry, one of the most exciting rivalries in college football. This is one of the last times we'll see these teams face off as Big 12 teams before obviously we get all the conference realignments and stuff like that. Texas right now, undefeated 5-0, ranked number 3 in the country. They are a legit college football playoff contender with national championship aspirations. And on the opposite side, number 12 ranked Oklahoma, they are, after losing Lincoln Riley and losing Caleb Williams and all that stuff a couple years ago, they are starting to get the program back up to speed. They are undefeated so far this season as well, and this is their chance to really prove themselves. They haven't really had any real competition so far through their first 5 games. Now they get to play the number 3 ranked team in the country and the Texas Longhorns, who they are definitely more battle-tested than Oklahoma, obviously having that win against Alabama. But Texas also has had some weak games on their schedule, so this is going to be a really interesting game. I cannot wait to watch this. This is definitely what college football is all about. You get matchups like these. In terms of what I'm writing here, I'm going to take, and I recommend you take this as soon as possible because I don't know what the line's going to, if it's going to shift towards Texas or away from Texas. Right now on DraftKings, you can get the Texas Longhorns at -5.5 points. Now look, I can give you a bunch of numbers, and the thing is that these two teams are pretty even, right? Texas beats them in some areas, Oklahoma beats them in others. I can throw numbers to make my case in any way, but at the end of the day, these teams are actually fairly even. Dylan Gabriel for Oklahoma has been playing very well. He's kind of a dark horse for the Heisman. On the opposite side, obviously, Quinn Ewers is one of the best college football quarterbacks in the nation, so these teams match up pretty well. I'm leaning Texas simply because, not to look at last year, because obviously these are two different teams, but obviously last season, if you remember, Texas absolutely annihilated Oklahoma 49-0 in this Red River rivalry. And so I'm not basing my pick solely off of that, but I do think Texas is still significantly the better team. Quinn Ewers might be better than Hendon Hooker, and although Oklahoma is also significantly better than they were last year, I think Texas is still very much the better team here. At home, they have national championship aspirations. I think what it's going to come down to really is which quarterback is going to perform better, which coach is going to perform better. And I do think Quinn Ewers is better than Dylan Gabriel. I do think Steve Sarkisian, he's going to have the Longhorns playing their best football here. And like I said, Texas is a little bit more battle-tested than Oklahoma. I just don't trust Oklahoma. I haven't seen them against even a decent opponent. They've played a lot of soft teams. I just don't trust them yet, and Texas is a powerhouse team right now. I'm going Texas minus 5.5 here. Like I said, I do think the Longhorns are the better team, not by a country mile, but I do think they are the better team here. All right, guys, moving on to the second game of our slate here today. We've got number 23 ranked LSU at number 21 ranked Missouri, also a 12 o'clock game, which we got a pretty good 12 o'clock slate, which is nice because I feel like the schedules for college football this season have not been fantastic. We've had some good games scattered, but we haven't had consistently good games. But this week we do have a pretty decent noon slate, which is good to see. LSU, obviously the big story here, coming off of their loss to Ole Miss, which was one of the most exciting games of the season thus far. LSU's defense right now, it's Swiss cheese, right? It's not a good defense. They are getting thrown all over. Ole Miss did it. We know that Florida State did earlier in the year, right? LSU, their defense is clearly not good. They are officially, in my opinion, I think it's basically a fact at this point, they are out of the college football playoff running. A team that had national championship aspirations at the start of the season, they are out of it. Even if they win out and do everything else, I don't think a two-loss team can get in the college football playoff. I don't see it happening for LSU. So that does change the outlook of their season a little bit. They are no longer a national championship contender at this point, especially Brian Kelly being the high-profile coach that he is, and all the money he's getting paid and all the expectations that came with him taking this LSU job when he came over from Notre Dame. I think at this point he has to save face, and I do think that they have been pretty good on bounce-back games, right? After that Florida State loss, LSU came back and answered with a strong win the following week. So I'm scared in the line. I was leaning Missouri a little bit to start the week, I'll be honest. I was very close to taking them as an underdog. I like them because I do think Missouri does not get enough credit. They are number 21. They are ranked. They are undefeated 5-0, but this offense is legit. Missouri's a pretty good football team that doesn't get the credit that I think they deserve. That being said, LSU is still a really good football team, particularly on offense, right? Defensively, not so much, but offensively, Jaden Daniels is a great college quarterback, one of the best in the nation. Their offense can score. They put up numbers. And even though Missouri's a solid team, I could see LSU coming out and firing on all cylinders out of necessity, really, right? They are now in a spot where they have to just make the best of what is a bad start to the season. And against a Missouri team that obviously they're 5-0, they're kind of in that same spot as like an Oklahoma, like I just talked about, where yes, they're 5-0, but they haven't really played anybody really good. This is obviously, I think, for Missouri, their toughest opponent of the season. So this is a big measuring stick game for Missouri football to see what they really are. Are they truly one of the better teams in the nation, or was it just a habit of playing not as good competition? We will find out this week in what is going to be, I think, a high-profile, high-flying game here between LSU and Missouri. So, guys, my pick for this game, I'm going to go with the over here, which I currently can get that over 64.5 at DraftKings, which is a little bit of a high number, and it has risen a little bit from where it opened. But I just think this is a game where points are going to be scored out the wazoo. These are two great offenses. LSU's defense, not very good. Missouri's defense is not bad. They actually have a really, really stout run defense. But their passing defense is slightly better than LSU's, not very great. And obviously LSU with that passing attack with Jaden Daniels, I do think we're going to see a lot of points here. I was leaning Missouri, I really was. But the line keeps shifting now, and at the time of recording, Missouri's at plus 4.5. Now, I saw them as high as like plus 6.5, and that line is quickly dropping because the public, the nation, is betting on Missouri here. And I'm not confident enough in LSU to put the money on them minus 4.5. I actually do think LSU will win this game on the road. I think they need this win. If they lose this game, a lot more questions are going to be thrown at Brian Kelly and this LSU team. I really do think LSU will win this game. It's just 4.5 points. This could be a very close battle. I don't feel so confident in LSU minus 4.5. However, I do feel confident in over 64.5. I think there's going to be points. Brady Cook, truthfully, Missouri quarterback, one of the most underrated quarterbacks in college football. He does not get his flowers that he deserves, and I think this is a good game here against a nationally ranked opponent like LSU, a high-profile nationally ranked opponent like LSU. I do think this will be a good chance for Brady Cook to get some more exposure. It's going to be close. I don't want to take a side in terms of the spread. I think it's far too risky. Take the over. I think you'll sleep a lot more comfortably at night. All right, guys, let's move on to, we got a couple games left. Let's move on to the nighttime slate here. We got 7 p.m., number 20 ranked Kentucky at number 1 ranked Georgia. Now, this is a game where I am leaning Georgia. Right now, the line is at Georgia minus 14.5. I am leaning Georgia. Both Georgia and Kentucky are not really battle-tested, right? Kentucky's coming off what I think is probably their most impressive win of the season this past week with the win over Florida. On Georgia's side, they beat Auburn, they beat South Carolina. They haven't really had the best strength of schedule either. So both of these teams, they have a couple of okay wins on their resume, but they haven't been battle-tested, not like this. Georgia, obviously number 1 ranked in the country, defending champions. We know all the storylines with Georgia. And with Kentucky, this team loses Will Levis. I thought they would take a little bit of a step back. They kind of have, but they're still a pretty solid football team. Ranked number 20 in the country, like I said, undefeated 5-0. They would be ranked higher again, but that strength of schedule has been kind of poor on their side here. I'm leaning Georgia, but I'm not going to make that my pick just because I do think Kentucky has an opportunity to make this semi-interesting. I think Georgia, without a doubt, wins this game. Let me put that out there now. Georgia's going to win this football game. It's a matter of, can they cover a spread of a little bit more than 2 touchdowns? Can they beat them by 15 points or more? I don't know, because I do think Kentucky is good enough to give Georgia problems here, especially with that run game. Georgia's run defense is not great, and Kentucky has the best rushing attack in college football right now. So that just right there, that matchup is what really makes it interesting to me, is that Kentucky run attack against that Georgia rush defense, which they don't even out, right? Kentucky's run attack could do some damage against Georgia, who have a bad habit this year of kind of sleepwalking early in the game, right? They come out kind of flat in the first quarter. And I think a Kentucky team that's hungry, this is their chance. This is their chance to prove themselves. Getting to the point here where I think I'm going to put my pick here is the over, which currently, let me just double check, is 47.5 points at DraftKings. It's fluctuating. You're probably going to get it somewhere around 48 points. Now, you may think, wait a second, why the over in a game with Georgia's defense and Kentucky, who also are not a terrible defensive team? I just think that Kentucky's rushing attack is going to cause a lot of problems here for Georgia. I do think there's going to be points. I think there's a very good chance that Georgia falls behind a little early, and then they're going to have to score points to make up for that. There's going to be points. I know on the surface you wouldn't think so, but I do think there's going to be points here. So take the over. Right now it's at 47.5. I would bet it up to about 48.5, 49. So all right, guys, here we go. Last pick of my debut show here. We've got another nighttime game. Notre Dame, number 10 ranked Notre Dame against number 25 ranked Louisville on the road, 7:30 p.m. game, primetime game. Look, for those who know me, they're going to know I am a Notre Dame fan. I have to put that out. I feel like I owe that to the people that when it comes to this game, I am a Notre Dame fan. So my judgment, I'm not saying it's skewed, but I do want to put that out there that I am a Notre Dame fan. So take that into consideration when I put this bet in, right? I am leaning here Notre Dame -6 on the road against number 25 ranked Louisville. Louisville, a solid football team. I've had the opportunity to watch a few of their games this season. They're not a bad team. But Notre Dame, and I know the Ohio State loss kind of muddies the water for a college football playoff spot, but this is a college football playoff caliber team in the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. And even in that Ohio State loss, there was a great opportunity for them to win. Now, I know they beat Duke last week, which was a nice win to add to the resume. I know they didn't crush Duke, and they haven't really crushed a lot of teams this season, but they are in a spot where they obviously still have college football playoff aspirations, and unlike LSU, who we talked about earlier, where they obviously they're out of it at this point, they're just trying to save face. Notre Dame still has a difficult shot, but a realistic shot at the college football playoff here. So every game matters, and Sam Hartman is having such a great season. I know he's a little bit of a long shot to win the Heisman, but he is a true Heisman candidate this year with the way he's been playing for Notre Dame. He has been such a game changer for this football team, for this program. And Louisville on the road, they're not going to make this easy, right? Louisville hosting Notre Dame, they're going to give them a good fight. I just think Notre Dame will pull out by a touchdown. This team is far too good, both on defense and on offense, I think, to come up short here. And look, I know Caleb Williams and Michael Penix, they're the front runners, and obviously Bo Nix is in there. And but I do think Sam Hartman is in that conversation. And if he wants to stay in that conversation, he needs to start having some more explosive games, some bigger stat lines. I think that starts here against Louisville. I have Notre Dame winning by, I think, 10 or more. Truthfully, and I know I'm a Notre Dame fan. You're going to say I'm biased. If this pick doesn't win, I know all the comments are going to be, Tasso, you're biased. Why are you a Notre Dame fan betting Notre Dame on a college football pick show? You shouldn't be biased. And I'm not even betting this as a Notre Dame fan. I truly just believe in watching these two teams. I've watched every Notre Dame game, obviously, and I've watched a good amount of Louisville. Solid matchup, but I think Notre Dame is very clearly the better team. And I think Notre Dame will take care of business on the road. Give me Notre Dame -6 here. Guys, that wraps this up. My very first episode of College Football Picks here on the Guy Boston Sports YouTube channel. Thank you so much for watching, for supporting me. Again, big shout out to Ev for allowing me the opportunity to come on here to take over his show, the baby that he created, and take over and make it my own. And, the format's going to mostly stay the same. Moving forward, I'll maybe make some tweaks along the way, but it's going to mostly be the same here, just to keep the continuity with the fans of the show who have obviously been following Ev for a very long time. But I gave you guys 4 picks this week. Make sure to bet them, and if you are going to bet them, sound off in the comments. Hit me up on Twitter. Hit me up wherever. YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, wherever. Go ahead and hit us up. Let me know if you're riding with me, if you're fading me, and if you are fading me, make sure you go buy some merch. Again, link in the description below to the Fade Me store. Guys, thank you so much. I hope you guys all cash your bets this week, especially if you're riding with me. I especially hope you'll be cashing your bets. Guys, I will be back next week. Enjoy week 6 of college football. And until then, I hope you're all winners.